When you're hitting the bag, right? I see you hitting them. When you walk, I want you to do like this. Boom, 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 boom. You keep for boom, 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 boom. How long you can do that? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1,
2. Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. Almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully.
Gervonta Tank Davis recently joined forces with the legendary Mike Tyson for an intense, no-nonsense training session ahead of his blockbuster clash with Jake Paul. The gym was charged with energy as Tyson shared his trademark ferocity, precision, and fight IQ with the younger star. Witnesses said Tyson personally drilled Tank on explosive power combinations, head movement, body torque, and his signature knockout uppercuts. Those in attendance were stunned by how sharp and aggressive Davis looked, channeling Tyson's raw intensity. With Iron Mike's mentorship, Tank appears more lethal and focused than ever heading into the Jake Paul showdown.
Yeah. Are there any considerations when you're moving your head, like you're trying to get your head out of the center line?
No, well, you want to get out the center, but the objective for him to throw the punch, that's where you can counter. Like if he throws the punch here, you count here, you go here, and you're still outside.
Yeah. Absolutely. That makes sense. So you want them to miss, and when they miss, that's your opportunity.
Absolutely. Sometimes you can punch while he's punching, so boom at the same time. As he punches, boom, he go down.
Absolutely.
It's all about moving after you punch. As soon as you punch, you're going. Whatever it is, boom. Side, whatever it is, you have to go.
I love that foot movement. Is that something that Casamano taught you?
Yeah, twisting.
Twisting is what it's.
The highly anticipated showdown between Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis is officially set for November 14th at the Casa Center in Miami, Florida. The bout was originally planned for Atlanta, but organizers were forced to relocate it after the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission raised concerns about the significant weight disparity between the two fighters.
Oh my days. Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. Is this real? This can't be real. Because he was talking about fighting Joshua, which is heavyweight. And now he's saying about fighting Tank. Nah, this can't be. It's Netflix as well. I need to go and do some checks and see if like the main pages have posted this. But Jake Paul's posted it. It says Friday, November 14th. It's in Atlanta, State Farm Arena. This is random, no?
Mike Tyson, who has previously shared the ring with Jake Paul, has cautioned Paul as he prepares to face Gervonta Tank Davis. Having experienced firsthand the intensity and unpredictability of Paul's style, Tyson understands the challenge he poses, but he also recognizes the far greater danger of facing a fighter as explosive and technically gifted as Davis. While Paul may hold the edge in size and youth, Tyson believes Tank's blistering speed, pinpoint timing, and devastating knockout power make him a serious threat, regardless of the weight gap. Tyson's warning hints that Paul might be underestimating just how lethal Davis can be.
I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but you got a fight coming up. You know, he's the top dog. There's no doubt about it. He's showed that. But the fighting, that's what shows fighting.
However, during his training sessions with Gervonta Tank Davis, Mike Tyson openly acknowledged that Jake Paul's punches pack surprising power. Tyson revealed that his entire body felt sore after sparring with Paul, a confession that stunned many who had dismissed Jake's physical strength. Coming from a man who's both delivered and endured some of boxing's most brutal knockouts, this was far from casual praise. Tyson's remarks underscore that Paul's power is genuine, not just promotional hype. They also validate his commitment to strength training and boxing fundamentals, proving he's no longer just a YouTuber experimenting with the sport, but a serious, disciplined athlete capable of inflicting real damage.
Oh no, I don't remember the fight that much. I kind of blanked out a little. Listen, know what I remember? Coming back from the first round. Then the next day I remember Jacob doing some kind of, I don't know, what was he doing at the ring?
Oh yeah, bowed. Yeah, he bowed.
That's the last thing I remember. You know, but the day after the fight, right after the day after, I woke up and told my wife, why did I do that? You know, I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on.
What did you think of Jake's power, man, when you were in there?
I don't remember it. But my body was really sore. Yeah, my body, my chest, my stomach and stuff was really sore.
Fans and pundits have long drawn parallels between Gervonta Tank Davis and Mike Tyson, pointing to their shared knockout power, relentless aggression, and larger-than-life presence inside the ring. However, those comparisons always come with important caveats. Davis is fighting in a completely different era, weight class, and boxing environment, one defined by evolving styles, media influence, and business dynamics. Tyson's legacy, on the other hand, was forged during a ferocious peak that still stands as a cornerstone of heavyweight boxing history.
I mean, I have to ask you, would you ever remake your famous video game? Bring it to the next generation consoles, my friend?
Yeah, I'm just happy to be alive.
What about, I mean, what do you think about people comparing Tank Davis to you? I mean, what do you think about that?
Tank's a great fighter.
You think he's a great fighter? What do you think about this experience to you? I mean, you're a legend, my friend.
Well, he'll be one too if he keeps fighting.
Oh, okay. All right, well, thank you. Okay, bye.
On the other hand, Gervonta Tank Davis has pushed back against being labeled as the new Mike Tyson. In interviews, he's been clear about the differences between them, describing himself as more of a boxer-puncher, a fighter who blends strategy with power, while characterizing Tyson as a pure brawler who thrived on relentless aggression and psychological intimidation. Davis emphasizes that, while he respects Tyson's legacy, his own approach is built on timing, precision, and calculated explosiveness rather than sheer ferocity. When asked about comparisons between himself and Gervonta Tank Davis, Mike Tyson didn't hold back. He admitted that while some similarities might exist, they're not the kind most people imagine. Tyson reportedly quipped, "Maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no." A sharp reference to Davis' offering controversies. The remark made it clear that Tyson doesn't entirely embrace the parallels others draw between them, suggesting that while he respects Davis' talent, he sees their journeys and personalities as fundamentally different.
Tank Davis, a lot of people say he reminds you of them. Does he remind you of
There we go. I don't know. Thank you. I don't, maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no.
Mike Perry, never one to hold back his opinions, blasted the idea of Gervonta Tank Davis stepping into the ring with Jake Paul. According to Perry, Davis is no longer the knockout machine he once was, claiming that his passion for boxing has faded over time. He argued that when a fighter loses that deep, genuine love for the sport, it becomes incredibly difficult to compete, especially against someone who's naturally bigger, heavier, and fully motivated. Perry warned that despite Tank's elite skill and speed, he'd be facing a massive uphill battle against Paul, who could weigh in nearly 180 pounds heavier. That kind of size gap, Perry stressed, isn't just a small factor, it changes everything: the way punches connect, how stamina holds up, and how much punishment a fighter can realistically take.
Do you think that it's fair to call them boxers now? Talk about Logan Brothers.
I think it's okay to call Jake Paul a boxer. The only reason why I say that is because he do be in the gym. He's working on stuff. The fight that he fought Mike Tyson, I don't think he should have fought Mike Tyson because of who Mike Tyson is and the age. And he said that he didn't try to knock him out. Yes, you did. You just couldn't get the knockout. And he tried to knock him out for sure.
How much money you think they paid Tank?
Tank gonna make upwards around 100 million. Real talk, so you can't really blame him for taking that.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult didn't mince words when breaking down the upcoming Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Tank Davis clash. He confidently predicted that Paul will land heavy, damaging shots on Davis, a conclusion rooted in Paul's clear physical advantages in size, reach, and punching power. While acknowledging Tank's elite skill and explosiveness, Showbiz argued that Paul's superior strength, durability, and frame will enable him to dictate the pace and control the exchanges. His blunt assessment adds to the growing skepticism about Davis' chances in this matchup. According to Showbiz, while Davis' speed and technique are world-class, the sheer difference in physical dimensions could ultimately decide the fight, and tilt the outcome in Jake Paul's favor.
Look at this face-off, Henry. What are your thoughts?
You're hearing that shit from me. That's cringe. In some weird way, I kind of like
cringe
it.
about it.
He's trying to big man, smaller guy, who the smaller guy to me is
dangerous. I think Tank Davis is going to put their hands on him, but I like it, bro. I will say something about Jake Paul. He's brought a lot of attention to boxing. Tank Davis guaranteed $40 million.
If you were in that position, would you fight Jake Paul?
Oh, hell yeah. You got to give Jake Paul his flowers. Mike Tyson, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz.
Jake Paul is a disruptor. He's done a phenomenal job. You get big and famous enough to where they would just hand you the title shot and throw out the ranking system.
If Jake Paul was to do that, I think that'd be the greatest sports accomplishment in history. Going from a Disney Channel kid to a YouTuber to becoming a world champion.
I don't remember the last time that I've heard Gervonta Davis say, I'm in boxing to be the greatest fighter of all time. I've heard him say that he's better than certain guys in his weight class, or this kid can't beat me. I've heard that. I can't remember. Maybe y'all can keep me honest online. The last time I've heard Gervonta Davis talk about his legacy in the ring. Like I'm building my legacy. I'm trying to outdo Floyd in legacy. Like, I think it started like that for him. But the influence of Floyd Mayweather, Money Man, not Pretty Boy, but the Money Man, and building your brand and selling tickets and selling pay-per-views and becoming a household name, that's also a legacy. You got the legacy in the ring and you got the legacy in terms of how you sold. I believe Gervonta Davis is more focused on selling tickets and making money and securing his future for himself and his family. He said it out of his own mouth. I ain't got nothing else to prove. If you're trying to be one of the greatest fighters of all time, it's still a whole lot to prove. My point is, Roy, I don't think should everybody hold this man to the standard that they hold him to and say, you're not fighting nobody. Yeah, you making money, but you ain't really fought nobody. If he don't even care about that, that's not even something that he's really focused on. If his main focus is the money and his main focus is getting out of boxing without getting hurt and retiring on his own terms, shouldn't his fan base and other people get on board with that if that's not even his goal? How can we hold him to something like that if he don't even hold himself to that?
Critics have been quick to point out that Jake Paul's recent actions, particularly his victory over 58-year-old Mike Tyson, expose a concerning pattern in his boxing career. Many see his decision to fight an aging legend as more of a spectacle than a true sporting challenge, raising doubts about his authenticity and long-term commitment to boxing. Prominent voices like Carl Froch have openly dismissed Paul's performance, arguing that it showcased more showmanship than skill. To them, Paul's success seems driven by entertainment value rather than genuine athletic achievement, reinforcing the belief that his boxing journey is fueled more by headlines than by hunger for legacy.
Can't buy the hype at this particular moment in time. Now, I'll give Jake Paul credit for this. At least he's in the ring with a boxer. But 57 years old is 57 years old. And 57 years old and formally walking into a UFC fight as an audience member, as a patron with a cane. It's hard to me to believe a year later that you're going to be in any condition to really, really fight. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. And if you're Jake Paul, here's what I want to say to you. It's Mike Tyson, that's fine. It's a money fight, I get you, and you want to make money. But at some point in time, if you keep telling us that you're taking boxing seriously and you want to be recognized as a big-time boxer/fighter, you're going to have to fight somebody closer to your age, who is a contender at the very least in the sport and who lives with it every single day. So please get in the ring with somebody. Pretty please with sugar on top. I'm interested.
What did you think about the fight, Jake Paul?
I hate it. And Jake Paul's starting to piss me off. Mike Tyson is 57 years old, man. Jake Paul been training with professional boxing trainers for years. He takes the sport very seriously.
So let me ask you, that's the question I have, because great kid, great businessman, by the way, amazing, and I know how he does all this character and the persona. We keep saying that he doesn't want to be a boxer. He's not a boxer, but then
Jake Paul is a boxer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly. He's a boxer.
He can fight. He can fight. I respect him. So go in there against fighters. You should be climbing the ladder towards those other fighters and taking the sport seriously to the point where you're fighting actual boxers. Now he decides to fight a fighter, a real fighter, which is Tyson. But Tyson is 30 years older. Stop this nonsense of going against dudes that either ain't boxing or is 25 years removed from the sport.